When Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the field for his first official NFL start against the Raiders, the atmosphere inside the stadium felt completely different from any other rookie debut this season. Every camera lens found him, every mic turned toward him, every fan, whether in the building or watching from home, knew this wasn't just another quarterback taking his first snaps. The pressure was already massive, but what made the moment nearly overwhelming was the presence of his entire family in attendance, including Deion Sanders himself. From the moment the broadcast panned to the stands showing the Sanders family arriving as a unit, the storylines instantly shifted. Suddenly, analysts and commentators weren't just talking about Shedeur's debut. They were talking about legacy, expectations, and whether he could rise to the occasion with every eye on him. The week leading up to the game had already been filled with non-stop discussion about whether Shedeur was ready, whether he'd earned enough first-team reps, and whether Cleveland would truly commit to him or simply throw him into the fire and hope for the best. But the news that Deion Sanders would be in attendance changed everything. It wasn't just a father supporting his son, it was a symbol of lineage, of football royalty, of expectation heavier than anything seen from another rookie quarterback this year. Everyone watching understood what Shedeur was stepping into. He wasn't just playing for a roster spot, he was playing with a legacy watching from the front row. Fans immediately began comparing the moment to the iconic NFL debuts of some of the league's greatest quarterbacks. Not because Shedeur had earned that level of acclaim yet, but because the magnitude surrounding his arrival felt bigger than football. It felt cultural, it felt generational, and it felt like the start of something that could either elevate him instantly or drown him before he ever found his footing. Reports from inside the Browns organization revealed that even teammates felt the shift in the building that week. Players mentioned that Shedeur's demeanor changed, still calm, still composed, but sharper, locked in, fully aware that he had no margin for error with the lights brighter than ever. Even coaches who had been unsure about when to unleash him admitted that the Raiders matchup represented a defining moment. If Shedeur delivered, the path forward would become clear. If not, the debate around Cleveland's quarterback situation would explode again. But the biggest weight came from the stands. Seeing the entire Sanders family sitting there, silent, focused, watching every throw, every snap, every read, added a level of pressure most rookies never experienced. This wasn't just a debut, it was a statement moment, a proving ground, a chance for Shedeur Sanders to show the league that the hype wasn't manufactured and the expectations weren't misplaced. And the second he took the field, every fan watching held their breath, waiting to see how he would handle the kind of pressure that breaks most young quarterbacks before they ever get started. As kickoff approached, the broadcast team wasted no time dissecting every angle of the storyline. They highlighted Shedeur's college accomplishments, his unique poise under pressure, and the expectation that he would bring a new dynamic to Cleveland's offense. But they also emphasized the harsh reality. This was the NFL now, and everything moves faster. Defenses hit harder, windows close quicker, and patience is limited. Fans weren't tuning in for a soft introduction. They wanted answers. Was Shedeur really the future? Could he handle the pressure? And how would he respond knowing Deion Sanders was watching from just a few rows away? The camera repeatedly cut to the Sanders family. Quiet, serious, not cheering or smiling, just observing. Their presence alone raised the stakes. Every bad throw would be magnified, every mistake replayed endlessly, every successful moment celebrated, but also measured against expectations far beyond what most rookies face. This dynamic turned the game into more than a performance. It became an evaluation under a microscope. From the first snap, it was clear the Raiders' defense had no intention of easing him in. They came after him aggressively, disguising coverages, sending pressure, and daring him to make quick decisions without the comfort of experience. This wasn't a rookie welcome, it was a trial by fire. Analysts even remarked mid-broadcast that the Raiders seemed determined to shut down not just the Browns' offense, but the entire Sanders storyline. But Shedeur didn't fold, he didn't panic, he didn't react like a rookie struggling to read the moment. Instead, he showed flashes of the same intelligence, patience, and timing that made him stand out during his college career. Even when the offensive line broke down or receivers failed to separate, he kept his composure. That poise became one of the major talking points throughout the first half. Fans online pointed out that he looked more prepared than what the Browns' coaching staff had allowed him to show in previous weeks. Still, the pressure mounted. Every throw that sailed high, every miscommunication with a receiver, every missed opportunity felt amplified by the weight of who was in the stands. And every time the camera showed Deion Sanders analyzing the field, fans speculated about what he was thinking. Was he proud? Was he frustrated? Was he silently coaching his son from the third row? The truth is, Shedeur wasn't just playing the Raiders, he was playing the moment. He was playing against public expectation, family legacy, media scrutiny, and the internal pressure of wanting to prove himself in his NFL debut. For any quarterback, that would be overwhelming. For a rookie stepping into the fire with all eyes on him, it was nearly impossible. Yet somehow Shedeur continued to show flashes of readiness, confidence, and the quiet intensity that defines players built for long-term success. By halftime, the storyline reached a breaking point. Analysts were split. Some argued Shedeur looked composed and showed promise despite the pressure. Others claimed he needed more time before being thrown into the spotlight. What unified everyone, however, was the acknowledgement that no rookie in recent memory had faced a debut with this much narrative weight. Every moment mattered, every decision mattered, every reaction mattered. As Shedeur ran back onto the field for the second half, fans held their breath again, waiting to see whether he would rise or crumble under the intensity. This is where the mental side of the game became more important than the physical. The Raiders continued attacking him, blitz packages, tight coverage, forcing quick reads and challenging him to create plays under duress. But Shedeur met those challenges with the kind of determination that separates average quarterbacks from those who have the potential to shape a franchise. He showed command of the huddle, authority in his adjustments, confidence in throws that most rookies hesitate to attempt. He made mistakes, sure, but he also made the kinds of throws that elite quarterbacks build their identities around. Tight window passes, timed routes, completions under pressure that silenced the stadium for brief moments before erupting in chatter online. Meanwhile, the Sanders family never changed their expression. They didn't cheer loudly, they didn't react dramatically, they watched with the intensity of a family that has lived in competitive environments their entire lives. And their presence, instead of being a distraction, seemed to fuel Shedeur. Every strong play felt like a message delivered directly to that section of the stands, proof that he belonged, that he was ready, and that this moment was not too big for him. As the game went on, fans began shifting from nervous energy to confidence. For the first time in a long time, Cleveland supporters saw a quarterback who didn't break under pressure, someone who understood the responsibility of the position, someone who didn't hide from expectations but embraced them head-on. But the true moment of the night came late in the fourth quarter. Shedeur, facing a critical third down, stepped up into the pocket, absorbed a hit, and delivered a strike for a first down. The stadium roared, social media exploded. Analysts immediately declared it the defining play of his debut, not because of the yardage, but because of the poise. That single moment summed up Shedeur's entire night. Pressure everywhere, expectations crushing him, and yet the ability to deliver anyway. It proved he wasn't just a rookie playing football. He was a quarterback with the mentality of someone destined to compete at the highest level. After the game ended, the conversation shifted from critique to admiration. Even analysts who were previously skeptical admitted that Shedeur showed something rare: mental toughness under extraordinary pressure. Every highlight show replayed his best throws. Every panel discussion broke down his decision-making. And every social media thread pointed out how unique it was to see a rookie quarterback make plays in front of a family known for their high expectations. Reporters immediately tried to capture reactions from Deion Sanders and the rest of the family, but they left the stadium quietly, refusing to turn the moment into anything about them. Instead, they let the focus remain entirely on Shedeur's performance. That silence carried weight. It showed that the family presence wasn't about spectacle, it was about support. And that support, even without words, seemed to give Shedeur the emotional foundation to handle the spotlight. Inside the Browns facility, the coaching staff acknowledged that Shedeur's performance exceeded expectations, not necessarily in raw statistics, but in presence and command. The locker room responded the same way. Veteran players reportedly approached him after the game, praising his toughness and the leadership traits he showed even in moments of adversity. These weren't empty compliments. They were acknowledgments that Shedeur had earned something deeper than approval. He had earned credibility. This is where the narrative shifted significantly. Before the game, many viewed Shedeur as a developmental quarterback, someone who needed time, patience, and controlled exposure. After the game, that viewpoint changed. He wasn't just promising. He wasn't just talented. He showed he was capable of handling pressure that most quarterbacks never experience, even late in their careers. And that matters in a franchise like Cleveland, a team that has struggled for consistency at the quarterback position for decades. Fans began asking a new question, not whether Shedeur should be given an opportunity, but whether he should be the long-term answer. His performance sparked debates across sports media. Some analysts argued he should start the next game immediately. Others insisted the Browns should build around him gradually but intentionally. But everyone agreed on one major point. Shedeur Sanders proved something important not just about his skill level, but about his character. He didn't crumble when the spotlight intensified. He didn't hesitate in moments of adversity. Instead, he delivered the kind of performance that suggests a ceiling far higher than what critics predicted. In the days after the game, the story evolved from a debut to a defining chapter in Shedeur Sanders' career. Fans, analysts, and even rival players acknowledged that what he did in that stadium, under those circumstances, under that pressure, was far from normal. It was rare, it was impressive, and it was the signal of a quarterback who has the potential to rewrite the narrative around his franchise. Social media reflected this shift instantly. Highlights of his best plays circulated non-stop. Fans posted messages praising his poise. Former players commended his confidence. Even commentators who were initially critical admitted that his debut showcased leadership qualities impossible to overlook. The pressure from having his entire family in attendance wasn't a burden. It was fuel. Inside the Browns organization, conversations reportedly began shifting toward giving Shedeur a more consistent role. Coaches admired his ability to process defenses, manage the huddle, and maintain composure even when the Raiders' defense threw everything they had at him. The front office recognized how his debut galvanized fan support and sparked new energy within the locker room. It wasn't just a performance, it was a cultural moment. But perhaps the most impactful change occurred within the fan base itself. Cleveland supporters, known for their passion and intensity, rallied behind Shedeur in a way rarely seen for a rookie quarterback. They saw themselves in him, resilient, underestimated, and determined to prove doubters wrong. His debut became a symbol of potential, hope, and renewal for a franchise that has fought through decades of instability. The presence of the Sanders family added an emotional layer to the story that few athletes ever experience. It wasn't pressure, it was expectation, legacy, and belief. And Shedeur didn't just meet that moment, he embraced it. He owned it. He used it to elevate his game when most would have fallen apart. In the end, his NFL debut wasn't defined by the scoreboard or statistics. It was defined by heart, grit, and the ability to handle a moment bigger than football. Shedeur Sanders proved he is more than a name, more than a storyline, more than a rookie. He proved he is a quarterback ready to grow, ready to lead, and ready to carve his own path in the league. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth NFL stories, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content just like this.